Hey everybody, and welcome to our final episode of TNG Quiz. I've been really looking forward to finally finishing this game, and Bob's been really looking forward to not having to do this game anymore. So, here we are, and we're going to give it one last shot. We're going to run all the way through this, no matter how many tries it takes, and we're just going to compress this all into one final video. So this is going to be our finale, regardless of whatever happens or how long it takes.
Ready?
I'm ready.
Okay. Start game. Which episode contains? This is Dr. Catherine Palaski. We will handle the formal introductions later.
The child.
Good. In which episode does Bacardi say, I think our lives just became much more complicated?
I think this one got me once or twice. Neutral zone. They're talking about the new and continuing threat of the Romulans. Yeah.
What is the game which the main characters are often seen playing?
Poker.
Which episode contains, but what of Lieutenant Yar? She is to become my first one now?
Nah. This is Code of Honor. This is the second episode. Where this leader of a planet basically fell in love with Tasha Yar and wanted her to become one of his wives.
Neat. Data says, take my wharf please, while trying to understand comedy in The Outrageous Okan.
He's talking about take my wife, please. He was delivering a bad joke in a way that he was incapable of doing properly. That's false. He didn't say wharf.
Incorrect.
Maybe I just misheard him all this time. That's weird. Oh well.
In the third season of What Color is Worf's Uniform?
It's gold. It's always been gold, right?
I hope so.
Am I losing my mind
Yes.
right now? Yeah. Like in the third season, it's always red. It's always
Jeremy
gold.
Astor loses his blink in The Bonding.
His mother.
Yes. And you got an extra miss.
Yeah.
Who says, I'm the joke of the universe, the king who would be man?
Q. You should know a bunch of these answers at this point. How many times we've played this game?
I actually have my finger hovering over the key I know you're about to tell me to press. In the defector, which race of aliens is defecting?
Romulan.
Yes. Which Kalarami and Data engaged in their final stratagem match in peak performance? They use over blank moves.
Oh man, I got this wrong twice before. I never remember which ones I wrote out. No, 2 million wasn't it? Was it 27 million or 27,000? I think about 27,000 this time.
Correct.
Hey, there we go.
I believe you guessed both too low and then too high.
Yeah, I only remember when I saw it the first time it was 2 something. I guess 2 million first, 2,000 second. And I guess, yeah, because 27 million sounds like a lot. That is a lot of points to make for, because Kalrami is, well, he's not a human, but he's an organic creature. 2.7 million is a lot of moves to make in one sitting. 27,000 still sounds like a lot, but he's just sort of an advanced being. Well, not advanced, but he's from a species who's known for their sharp intelligence.
Which episode contains, I didn't kill just one Hunsuk, or 100, or 1,000. I killed them all!
That was the survivors. Actually, he was lamenting about having committed this act. He wasn't quite so triumphant about it. Actually, greatly regretted that action.
I killed them all.
He was like he was a superior being, not unlike a Q. He may have been, but I don't think so. Like that was a part of it, but he had Q-like powers. He was hiding out as a human on the planet somewhere that was attacked by the Huznok or whatever they were called. And he refused to fight, he refused to kill, but in this moment of deep sadness when his wife died, he just kind of snapped for a moment. And by snap, I mean he snapped them all out of existence. And that's why he's the survivors.
Yes!
Those are very cool episodes. Those are very powerful ones. One of the better ones, I think. So anyway, next.
When does Data say those who knew him loved him, while those who did not know him loved him from afar?
It's got to be a schizoid, man. I didn't watch this episode, and that's mostly why I know that this is the one. Assuming I'm right, we'll find out in a second.
You are correct.
But yeah, Ira Graves, like, I skipped over this episode because the Ira Graves character, whose prominent character throughout the entire episode, is painfully insufferable for a lot of different ways. And as soon as I saw the beginning of this episode, I was watching it on Netflix, so I was like, oh god, it's this guy. I'm just gonna skip this episode.
Okay.
But yeah, this is what it was.
Which episode contains vitamins? They do wonders for the body.
I remember this. This is in Conspiracy, where there are these parasitic... Not exactly parasitic, they're like mind control slugs. And they got into... And they're trying to take over Starfleet by getting into all the chain of command. And they also have the ability to make their host exceptionally strong. And he was in... this is one of the possessed people, one of the controlled people whose strength was amplified, and it was beating up Riker. Just joking about those vitamins because he's an old man. So Conspiracy.
You're correct. Admiral Quinn in the middle of beating up Riker.
Middle of beating up Riker. She says beating up Riker. It's like in a fight or anything. It's like...
Q does not get his powers back at the end of Deja Q. He will have to wait. True or false?
That is false.
It's false. No, he got them back because he committed a selfless act. What does Q give Riker at the end of Deja Q when he appears on the bridge with the band?
A cigar.
You're correct.
Actually, that's not entirely true. He gave him women first. He chose the women afterwards. And he also gave him women, but he didn't want them, so he gave those women to Worf. It was a goofy moment.
Okay then. In Shades of Grey, Riker would have died if the infection he had would have gotten to his...
brain.
Correct. And another free miss.
Yeah, we're up to 5 now. That's a record.
In the neutral zone, how many of the 3 chronically frozen people are men?
Neutral zone. Neutral zone. Ah! I remember what episode they're talking about. Yes, there were 3 people. There was a housewife, an investment banker, a male investment banker, and a male musician. So there were 2 of them.
You're correct.
Yeah.
Jonathan Frakes, who plays Riker, accidentally ate a worm for the dinner scene in Conspiracy.
He did not. He was about to, but he was psyching them out.
Incorrect.
What? No, he never took a bite. He put it in his, he held it up to his face. He almost ate it. He almost ate the worm, but then he put it down and pulled out his phaser and shot a guy.
Are you disagreeing with the quiz?
I was there. I saw it not happen. This game is lying to me.
Really? Future John, put in the clip.
I don't think Future John can put in the clip.
Tell us whether you can put the clip in or not. Yep.
Put it there if you can, Future Me. Well, current me is moving on.
That's what I thought. I either told you or didn't. Ha! Or ha to me. Meh.
Okay, now, okay. I was going to tell Future Me to then, after that, splice in the footage of you saying the opposite of that. But now we're just nesting Future Me's into Future Me's, and this is just going to get confusing. So let's just continue.
One, does Picard say, "Father, any rumors of my brush with death are greatly exaggerated"? Is that clear?
Okay. I finally had to just look this up because it was tricking me up too many times. This was in Samaritan Snare. Because Picard has, yes, he has an artificial heart because he was stabbed in the chest a long time ago and he needed it replaced. And he was actually off the ship during Samaritan Snare. And the problem is trying to rescue Geordi, who was captured by the Packlids, in time to go get Picard, and then also being able to get not Dr. Crusher, but the other woman, their doctor to the starbase where Picard is at because they need her help with that particular surgery. The reason Picard wanted to have that surgery off the ship is to sort of maintain the appearance of not perfection, but like he doesn't want his crew to see him sick and injured. That was his whole problem throughout the entire episode. He needed to replace his heart, but he didn't want the crew to see him in that condition. So I finally looked this up, and now I know. Now I know why.
Which episode features nanites and a man named Dr. Stubbis?
Evolution.
You are correct. So do they ever use like nanites as just kind of like a catch-all technobabble thing?
Not really. I mean, they're never so limiting in their technobabble. There's all kinds of exotic particles, there's all kinds of fun technologies, there are all kinds of things they can use to fill in their technobabble solutions that they never resort to anything so mundane as nanites or anything so repetitive. They don't usually rely on the same solution a bunch of times.
Okay, and I shall use my cork gluon plasma ball boson button in order to go to the next question.
It's a very chaotic device. That's a lot of strange particles to mix into one thing. It sounds like some kind of bomb with all those things in there all at once, all those crazy particles.
I just threw a bunch of science terms together.
Yeah, a strange bomb with a very, very specific purpose to have to involve all of those things in such a balance like that.
I use it to go to the next question. It's the enter key on my keyboard. In Skin of Evil, the away team tries to rescue Blank, who has crash landed on Shuttlecraft 13.
Deanna Troi.
Yep. Which of the following is not an episode?
Where none have gone before. Maybe? No, wait. Neither of these sound like episodes.
Well, if one sounded like an episode, it would kind of give it away, wouldn't it?
Yeah. I mean, like, where none have gone before? I mean, that's too obvious to be a name of an episode. Like, it can't possibly be it. Like having an episode of Star Trek that was actually like called like Space Journey or something. I mean, it's just too obvious. Where none have gone before. That's the. I think it's Commanders.
The Commanders?
Because I can't think of an episode where they're just a bunch of commanders, but there are lots of episodes where they've gone places none have before. So I'm thinking Commanders.
Okay. Is that your final answer?
Yeah.
You're correct!
Yes!
Who says, is Data a machine? Yes. Is he the property of Starfleet? No.
This is the episode where there was a Maddox, I believe it was. That's not my answer. But Maddox was saying, he's a researcher into robotics and AI and this kind of thing. And he wants to have Data disassembled so we can study how he works. And there was a trial about whether or not Data was a person and therefore had rights. Philippe Louvois was the... not my answer. I heard you almost click a button there, but that's not my answer. I'm thinking through it right now. Philippe Louvois was like the court... the judge? It's actually called a judge in like She was called something different, but trying to what she was. Was it Riker or Picard? I'm mostly certain it's Picard, because he took the defense of that case, tried to argue that he is not property of Starfleet. So
I've never watched an episode of Star Trek, but at the same time, that sounds like a very Bacardi thing to say.
Yeah.
And you're both wrong.
Ah.
What a sour note to end this episode on.
No, we're doing this whole episode. We're gonna keep going until it's done, and this is all gonna be one recording.
This is all gonna be a single part?
Oh yeah, one big part. I'm just gonna cut all kinds of data out of here.
Okay.
It's got to be Philippe Louvois is what it is. I think this was her ruling. That's going to be good for us. That might be good for us later. You get this question again, but I'm pretty sure that was the actual answer.
What is the name of the Pelkad ship in Sumerian Snare?
Mondor. Because I guessed the Mongo twice, and I was wrong. Yes! This is another one I had to look up because it was tripping me up too many times.
In which season did the episode The Survivors appear?
Third.
You're correct. What is the most distinctive feature of the Ferengi?
Technically, none of these answers are right. It's their lobes, is what it is. They have these giant foreheads. I think their brains are actually that big. They're not particularly intelligent, but they just have giant lobes, is what they call them. But they have big ears too, so I guess we'll go with that.
That's the answer I wanted.
Yeah.
Woo! Another free miss.
Another free miss.
How much gold plus platinum can we get for that miss?
Well, we may need it, so let's not settle up just yet.
Okay.
Let's wait until the end of the quiz and see how many slips we can get.
How many buttons on the collar of Worf's uniform that signify his rank?
Oh, what was this last time? I don't think it got me.
All I know is that last time we either got it correct or incorrect.
Yeah.
That was hopeful.
Lieutenant. It's gotta be 2.
So your final answer?
Yeah.
You certain?
Yes.
Okay.
Because Riker had 3. Like, that was a plot point. That was a significant plot point in another episode, that Riker had precisely 3 pips on his collar. But that's a much later episode, so I won't go into it now. But it's gotta be 2, because Worf is a lower rank than Riker. Yeah. And Picard has 4. That was another question we're probably going to find later. Picard has 4 pips on his collar.
Who says, how can you stand it day after day? What other dangers await me if I'm not prepared for this?
Q and Deja Q. Couldn't be Reva and loud as Whiffer, and loud as a whisper, because Reva is mute. That's what that title means.
Maybe she was just
communicating without words.
Being a little out of character in that episode.
Well, Reva isn't a recurring character. He never had a line of dialogue.
Are you sure?
Yeah, it was only there for 1 episode, and then they left him on a planet at the end and never saw him again.
Are you sure the new character never had a line of dialogue?
Yes. Very certain. Okay.
Who says for them there are only 2 choices, 1 and 0, yes or no?
I'm gonna go with Picard. Because again, that sounds like a very Bacardi thing to say. Nope, I guess it was Riker.
When does Picard say, will you condemn him, as all who come after him, to servitude and slavery?
It's not who watches the Watchers. It wasn't the Defector. I don't think it was Symbiosis, but I don't entirely remember Measure of a Man. But it's gotta be that one, though, because I'm very certain it wasn't any of the others. So we'll go ahead and go with that. Number 4.
See, that sounds like it could be correct. Hey, at Data's hearing.
Yeah.
Because that honestly sounded like an episode where they have a trial. And that sounds like something that would be said during a trial.
Oh, yes. Measure of Man is the episode where Data's in trial. Yeah, Data's hearing this human. And, it's saying that if you Like that's one of the best lines in the entire series, where Picard's like giving one of his final sayings there at that trial, and he's like, "The Federation was found to discover new life," and then he turns and points to Data, and like, well, there it sits. And it was really cool. And he's talking about if Data is found to be a sentient being with all the rights that go along with it, then that's a new race that was created. And if not, if you decide that he is not sentient and doesn't have rights, then you will condemn him and I'll come after him to servitude to slavery because they're not people. So that's it. Yeah.
Which episode contains Jean-Luc, shame on you for thinking such a thing.
That was Luoxana Troy who said that. Deanna Troy's mother, she likes messing with people's heads, particularly Jean-Luc's, because she's got a crush on him. It's got to be the emissary, because she is an emissary. No, is it not? Which one was that from?
Is that?
She was on the Captain's
Is that
Holiday.
the lady that wears the big hats?
No, you're thinking
That was
of
Whoopi Goldberg, wasn't it?
Guinan. Yeah, Guinan's the one with the hat. Was it on Manhunt? I guess it was.
Was that character the psychic one? Because it wasn't the one that was psychic and could read minds, or am I thinking of something completely way off base?
Guinan is not telepathic. You're thinking telepathic, but that's not what Guinan is. Roxana is. That's the character I'm talking about here, who likes to mess with people's heads.
I'm gonna say it's Captain Holiday. I have no way of knowing if that's right.
It's Manhunt.
Okay, fine, it's Manhunt.
It's got to be Manhunt. I'm sure of it now.
Too bad I can't check that.
Yeah, well...
Future you can put an annotation here, though.
If you're lucky, I'll get 2 more wrong, and then we'll have to start the whole thing over, and then you can try again. If that's what you want to do.
I don't. We'll just have Future you highlight the right answer. Thanks.
Cool. Good to know.
Which of the following is not an episode? Data Lore, Justice, Deja Vu, or The Neutral Zone?
Justice.
I'm sure it's not Deja Vu because they had a Deja Q, and that sounds...
You're right! I'm an idiot. You just saved me. It is Deja Vu.
Because that sounded like it was trying to mess you up thinking Deja Q.
Man, maybe you shouldn't have. If we drop down to 0 free misses, then we're gonna count that as a loss. But good on you for getting that for me, I guess. Oh well, we'll
you got
see.
an extra free miss.
Yep.
How many buttons are on the collar of Picard's uniform to signify his rank? That would be 4, right? You said it earlier.
4. Yeah, so it's got to be
So
4
what?
this time. Yes. Correct.
According to the 3rd season, Transporter Chief O'Brien still has not been given a first name yet. True or false?
I don't know. He was a recurring character, but never a significant one. Through 3, I think. I'm gonna go with true. But I'm not certain.
Hey! It was always called O'Brien.
Yeah, it was just called O'Brien, yeah. I mean, it's a military vessel, basically. Everyone mostly refers to each other by their last names.
Worf went to a Klingon vessel to celebrate his Age of Ascension in the Icarus Factor.
That is false.
You are correct. It was all staged on the holodeck. In the high ground, who stays with Dr. Crusher while she tends to the injured after the bomb goes off?
Oh, this one gave me a lot of trouble, too. I think... I remember saying the first time that the first instinct was Worf, but that also proved to be incorrect. I think it was Data, and I'm pretty sure I second-guessed that one the second time, but I don't know if I got it right. It's definitely not Wesley Crusher, I do know that.
It's never Wesley.
It's never Wesley. Yeah, you made that joke. Data? I think it's Data.
Is it?
No, it's Shorty.
4 then?
I don't know. 2-4.
4?
4.
Wrong.
It was Data. Such an idiot. Okay, we're good.
Which episode contains I just killed 3 men to get out of there, Consular?
The Hunted.
That's correct. Which episode contains I awoke in an indescribable place, and my words were gone. I had been healed.
This was in Who Watches the Watchers. There's another really interesting one, because the Enterprise is sent to assist a science team who is covertly watching a primitive species, like one particular little village there, and something goes wrong with their cloaking technology. Well, not a cloak, but it's a hologram projector that makes their little camp look like a cliff face. The technology for that goes screwy for a little bit. One of the natives wanders in, sees them, gets hurt. He touches an electrified panel and gets hurt, and Dr. Crusher, too kind for her own good again, beams that guy onto the Enterprise to heal him, whereupon he wakes up during the process. And then he sees people listening to the Picard, who gives them orders and tells them what to do, and is able of granting life to people who are dead, as it seems to him. And then he brings the religion of the Picard back to his people. Which is a big no-no. But yes, that's the episode. Next.
Who is the first to fall victim to the disease in The Naked Now?
Geordi. Yeah. I didn't think about that one last time too, but that was it.
The Naked Now. That doesn't sound like an episode. That sounds like a porno spoof.
That is really weirdly worded title. I mean, no one actually gets naked.
Well, they get naked later, which is why it's... I don't know where that joke was going.
That was the episode where Data and Tasha Yar have sex, so presumably nudity happened somewhere along the way in that sequence.
So it's the naked sometime.
But we didn't get to see it, though, so we don't know.
So it's the naked over there at some time.
The naked over there at some point. That would have been a more accurate title.
Which episode did Tasha Yar come back to the series?
Yesterday's Enterprise.
Yep.
Because it happens mostly in an alternate timeline where she never died.
Ah, okay. So they have episodes that are just in alternate timelines?
Well, what happened is that, like it's Yesterday's Enterprise. Next Generation is about the Enterprise D. The Yesterday's Enterprise it's referring to is the Enterprise C, who was thought to have been destroyed attempting to defend a Klingon colony in distress that was being attacked by the Romulans. And with this act of honor, as the Klingons perceived it, helped pave the way to normalize relations between the two species, or between the two, factions. But what happens is that evidently some time hole opened up in the battlefield or something strange of that nature, and the Enterprise C was pulled into the future to the Enterprise D. And since the C was not there to defend the Klingons, those relations were never normalized, and in the future, where the D is, don't take that line out of context. In the future, with Enterprise D is, the Klingons and the Federation are at war with each other, and the Federation is losing. So, and the Enterprise D isn't an exploration vessel; it's a warship. So it never was at the place where Tasha Yar was killed. So she was still there on the ship when that happened. And here's the fun thing. Here's the really fun thing about this episode is that she went back on the sea when they sent it back into the past and survived there, even though in this timeline she had already died. Wrap your head around that for a moment. And she was captured by the Romulans, had a half Romulan child sometime later, and that half Romulan child is becomes Empress Sela later on. Empress Sela of the Romulan Empire.
So
It's
relationships
crazy.
were normalized, and Persea came as a result of the D and the C meeting.
I want that on a t-shirt. Good night, everybody. Next question.
Near Aurelius 9, the Enterprise is bombarded by Blink from a booby trap in Booby Trap.
Lethal radiation.
And now on to boobies. Who challenges Data to solve a real mystery in Elementary Dealer Data?
Dr. Pulaski.
Who says you violated the Prime Directive with the Edo? You deliberately interfered with their laws.
Dexter Remick.
In Coming of Age, Picard's actions are being reviewed.
Alright. 10 questions to go. I have 3 misses. I'm going to go ahead and count that I got that one wrong, since you saved me, but it doesn't look like it's going to matter anyway, because I've got enough free misses to save me. If it drops down to 0, I'm out, even though I technically have one more point after that. What was the number? Enterprise D.
We're going with the 1D.
Yes.
Always go with the D. Who says you've got all the Holmes mysteries memorized?
Geordi LaForge. Yeah. I was thinking it also could have been Dr. Pulaski, but she's not in this
Is that the guy
option.
with the visor?
Yes, Geordi LaForge is the visor.
Isn't that played by the same dude who did the Reedy Rainbow thing?
Yes.
He only did a Kickstarter recently to get the Reedy Rainbow back.
I think I did hear about that. Future me, if that's still going, put in a link to that. Yeah, we'll see how that's going.
Or if
that's
it's not
still
still
working.
going, put in whether it was a success or failure.
Yeah. Next question.
Which episode contains, but they found him imperfect, and I was made to replace him? You may call me Lore.
Data lore.
I knew that one because it's not Q Who. Also, it is utterly
If I get
impossible
one more
for
right,
you to get it wrong now, because it's
I just need to get one more right, and that'll be true. Because I'm counting it if I go down to 0.
at the start of Pin Pals. Which is Picard doing in the holodeck?
Horseback riding.
Are you sure it's horseback riding? I mean, it is a
Yeah,
holodeck.
I talked
and he
about
is
this
all
last
alone in
episode.
there.
It does like to play Dixon Hill a lot, but that wasn't in this time. It's always in horse. He's always trying to horseback ride when he gets interrupted with things.
I was thinking of the jazz bar. But alright.
Actually, no. That is a reference to 10101100. However that one goes. And that was actually Riker who was there first. And fishing, I think. Funny thing about this fishing answer, now that I think about it, is that the first time we see a holodeck in use in Deep Space Nine is Commander Sisko's son fishing on a bridge. Which, of course, pretty sure this happened way later than that. And that's probably just a coincidence. But that is interesting.
So horseback riding then.
Yeah, horseback riding.
You're correct. It's impossible for us to lose now.
Yes!
We've won!
I've done it!
We've effectively won! For the formality of it, though, we'll go through the last 3 questions.
Yeah.
How does Admiral Jarke commit suicide in The Defector?
A poison tablet that he tucked into his pants. Yeah.
A poisonous tablet.
It was very sad. I really like that episode. That was another one of my favorites.
We're trying to make a reference to King's Quest.
I never played that game.
Is the Let's Play going to be sad now?
No, we've won this game. We should be triumphant. This is exciting.
Oh. Poison tablets are exciting now?
Well, not that part.
Next question.
Next question.
Ooh, a free miss. As if we weren't winning enough already. In which season did the episode Manhunt appear?
Second.
Awesome.
Was mostly guessing, since I don't care
This is
anymore.
the first time the numbers actually matched up, where the first is
Yeah.
1 and the second is 2. They should have switched it so the second would be 1 and the first would be 2.
Yeah.
Whoopi Goldberg appeared as Guinan in the first episode of the second season.
I don't know. First episode of the second season is The Child. I don't think she was there for that, no.
Now
That's false.
this is the strange hat lady, right?
Yes.
Right. So 1 or 2?
2.
Ah, incorrect. Oh well.
Oh well, doesn't matter. Final question.
Final question. Which of the following is not an episode? Heart of Stone, Symbiosis, Lonely Among Us, or When the Bow Breaks?
1 or 3? I don't know. Let's guess 3.
Try to get it right, because you don't want to end on a miss. I mean, it doesn't technically
That's
matter.
my best guess.
Right?
I'm mostly certain it's How Lonely Among Us, but that's not a large majority of certainness. Do it.
Let's see if it's 3. Lovely assistant, please press the 3 button.
We have a lovely assistant.
That might explain why it's taking so long for the button to be pressed. I'll just have to press it myself then. Incorrect.
Woo! I won! Yeah! Woo! Round of applause, everybody!
You can applaud yourself. So that works. You gotta get.
Future me, pop some champagne on there or something. Woo!
No, not that brand. Use a better brand.
Try the other one. Yeah, there, that's
It
better.
wasn't even champagne. Whatever. You made it through all the questions.
Yeah!
Woo!
See where it takes us after this. Press any key.
Alright, come up with some
Andrew back here again.
techno-babbly reason why people need to like, comment, and subscribe.
Because I won, so there.
Perfect.
Because I lost. Alright. Well, I'm proud of us. I'm proud of me, everybody, and I hope you are too. Good night, everyone.
Isn't it?